I'm so excited to chat with you, Spencer, because the Z Suite looks super funny, and I think it's a perfect vehicle for your sense of humor and your comedic abilities. Was there something about Elliot or about the series itself that drew you to be a part of the show?
Well, at the time, I needed a job. We were unemployed, so we needed to book that. But yeah, reading the script, Katie O'Brien, our showrunner and our creator, knows comedy so well. But immediately reading the script, I fell in love with everything. I mean, it's hilarious. It's so good. Um, and yeah, so meeting Elliot on paper, I was like, I have not like I really don't think I've seen someone like this before, or maybe in a very long time. Um, and yeah, I just kind of like jumped into it, and throughout the audition process, I kind of just got to do whatever I wanted to do, honestly. And never really received any notes throughout the process. So I was like, I'm doing something right, something's working. And yeah, Elliot's kind of I mean, how it started off, like my inspo for him was kind of like I was pulling pieces from like David from Schitt's Creek and like a little bit of Alana from Broad City, like that kind of vibe. Obviously, when you watch the show, you're gonna be like, well, I don't know if that's going on. So he definitely changed throughout production, but from the start, that's kind of where I wanted to go. And then he just ended up becoming like an extension of myself.
I was going to
But yeah,
say, I can see from the outfits a little bit of David Rose now that you mention it. The costumes are
yeah.
incredible. How much influence did you have when it came to what Elliot wore?
So Marissa Schwartz, which is our lead costume designer, and Gary Yush, which is the costume assistant, let me and Katie, really let me have creative, like a lot of creative freedom when it came to what he was wearing, and even for our makeup team with like what anything I was putting on my face for the day or for the scene or for the look, I had a lot of like rights and like I got to choose literally whatever I wanted. And obviously, I mean, it needs to stick to the plot and like serve the story. But it was very collaborative. I got like from the first fitting, we kind of like knocked out a lot of looks. And kind of like Marissa had like a really good idea of like, I mean, from the first episode, you kind of see me, and even in the trailer, you see me wearing all black, or you see Elliot wearing all black, and it's kind of his his funeral for Monica losing her job. So every look has a story and there's a reason he's wearing it. So like you hear nothing coming out of Elliot's mouth. You just look at him and you know there's something being told. Some story is being told at all times. So yeah, that's the thing I think I had the most fun with when it came to Elliot was just like what was I wearing today?
You and Madison and Anna spend the most time together now that you're forced into running this PR firm. Was there a chemistry read for the three of you, or did you all just find you had wonderful friendship immediately?
Yeah, no, we did have a chemistry read. I met so with my so I during the audition process. It was, I think the first one was on tape, and then live callback like about like 2 weeks later at Fox Studios here in LA, and then from there, sorry about that. From there we went to the chemistry read, and that's when I met Madison. And immediately we already had the vibe of like something's here, like something. This vibe was working. Anna was not in this chemistry read. They hadn't found Anna yet, so I was auditioning with other Clems. But me and Madison were like, I feel like we're gonna book this. Like I don't know, but just the vibe is working. And then got the offer, and then about like 2 months later, I think I booked this around May, June. I did a chemistry read with Anna, like I think in August, right before we actually went to Toronto to shoot. And immediately I was like, this has to be Clem. Like a lot of my scenes throughout the series, you'll see like almost every scene I have is with Clem. So it was very important for like us to work perfectly, and like we're a dynamic duo. Like we Anna is phenomenal. She has never acted before, like on this is her first like acting job, and she knows exactly what she's doing. She's a superstar. But yeah, we kind of built we started to form a relationship when we weren't on camera, and that transitions to the show. You can see how well we work together when you watch the show, because we have a real friendship in life now. So yeah.
We talked about your input into the wardrobe. Was there much room or a little bit of leeway for you all to improv in scenes once you had certainly gotten the writing down? Or was everything just so beautifully in that script that you were like, all right, I can't make it funnier. It's perfect.
Yeah, so we definitely like for most of it, we really stuck to the script. I mean, the writers, we respected the writers and everyone on our writing team, and again, Katie, and Kate Lambert, which is their head writer, and Jackie, and literally everyone, they just know what they're doing. So we really went like stuck to the script. Obviously, sometimes like I could go and kind of do whatever I wanted, but as we shot, scripts would change and they would start using the vocabulary that Spencer was using. Like they were watching me on set when I wasn't on camera and like I would get a script and I'm like, wait, I just said that yesterday. Like when I was talking to my friends on FaceTime, they're like, oh yeah, we know. We know we know you said that. And I was like insane. So they were watching at all times. So like when we would do our first shot, obviously stick to the lines. And then after that, we already got what's on paper. So go have fun. Do whatever you want. And then when you see the show, they kind of just pick and choose what they wanted to use.
You know, great comedic timing. Is it something that's just been innate for you, always been there, or have you worked at it over the years?
It's so funny because I never really thought I was like had any comedic timing or like was even like remotely funny. And when I started off, all I really wanted to do was drama. Like I was just so obsessed with like pulling tears and crying, and I was like, I want to stay in this, but obviously that's exhausting to live in at all times, you know. And then I think my first, I think my first project, yeah, it was One Mississippi. Like I mean, like 7, 8 years ago, which was a comedy, and I kind of started booking like comedic shows. And yeah, I'm kind of just going with the flow, but I never really like dived in and like had to work on it and just kind of being myself, and it seems to translate on screen well. So yeah.
You're working with some comedic talents like Lauren Graham and Nico Santos. It has to be incredible for you to spend time with them behind the scenes, talking with them, and certainly watching them riff or do comedic bits as well. What was it like for you working with them?
They're everything. They know exactly what they're doing. At first I was like a little intimidated because I was like, do I even know how to act? Like, I don't know what's going on right now. Um, but I mean, from day one, I think our first day, it was all six of us in like a conference room. So like we started off the bat just like being together, and sitting across the table from Nico and Lauren is just like my mouth was like I was just like in shock. When the camera's rolling, it's like two different things are happening. Like they can just hop in to just riffing and doing whatever they want to do, and then the camera's off, and then it's like, yeah, that was funny. Yeah, but anyways, we're still like, how did you do that? Like, what is going on? How are you so comfortable with just like tapping in and tapping out like that? And Nico, I mean, I have a couple scenes with Nico, and it's just us, and I have never broken character so many times in my life. Thank God I'm working with a production and Tubi that like they let me do that, and it might be in the show. Who knows? Stay tuned. But I mean, every take, I couldn't control myself. I mean, how can you control? He's hilarious. He's the best thing in the world. So yeah, I broke character multiple times.
This is such a funny show, and certainly I want everyone to see the pilot and I want them to watch every episode. But are there specific moments, maybe you can or can't talk about that, but maybe specific episodes that you really are proud of the work you put into?
Yes. I mean, every episode is so great. But I have two favorites. Don't want to like spoil anything, but episode 4 is one of my absolute favorite episodes. Specifically because you get to see Elliot shine and you get to see his creative side step out massively. You get to see what he's really good at because throughout the show, like work ethic does not exist. Like that's not something he's signing up for. Doesn't even know what that is. I swear. But episode 4, you do see him shine when it comes to work. Won't get into the type of work, but you will see in episode 4. And then episode 7,
So it could
I
be
always
work
have a
with an
blast.
O or work with an E.
Work
Work.
with an E. You see him work. Yeah, because working with an O is just not his thing. That's not going to be happening. And then I love. big group scenes. I just think they're so much fun. So when we can all be together, and again, like throughout the show, you kind of see a lot of people kind of like get isolated and do their own thing. And so when we get to episode 7, there is it's just an amazing episode, and I'm not going to spoil that either because there's only 8 episodes, and when it gets to 7, it's getting crazy. Um, but it's the whole episode is literally kind of all of us together, every character in the show, and those are always exciting because you get to see this crazy group of people all be under the same roof and kind of lose their minds together.
The show looks super funny. How do you plan to celebrate the premiere that's coming up here shortly in February?
So I just got back from our like premiere in New York. And then I'm gonna celebrate here like next Thursday, a week from today. Show comes out. First 2 episodes will be dropping. I'm probably gonna I'm such a homebody now, but I'm probably gonna do something with my close friends here, and keep it super chill and yeah, just let them enjoy it. I mean, I've seen it, so see their reactions and yeah, just keep it super chill and low key and see what the world thinks.
What do you think it is about the Z Suite that's gonna make it such a fast fan favorite comedy?
Well, one, we have Nico Santos and Lauren Graham a part of our show, and that is a great fan base to have for me. But I think watching the show, I mean, obviously we're dealing with the generational divide. So you got to see Gen X and Gen Z, but also Evan Marsh, who plays Minnesota Matt, is representing millennials. And then at one point we kind of like mentioned Gen Alpha. So there's literally something in here for everybody, no matter what age you are, or how you look, or who you are as a person, or how you identify. And even like when we're talking about Gen Z specifically, you have 3 characters that are completely different. So it's not one, they're not representing Gen Z just like all the same. And even when it comes to Monica and Doug, they're completely different too. So when you're watching the show, there's going to be something in here for, I think, every single person, truly.
We did talk about the wonderful dramatic roles you've had in the past. You were a part of The Purge, you were in Rosalind, you're in some special projects. Do you have one that holds a special place in your heart?
Um, Never Going Back, which was an A24 film I did. I mean, all of my projects all mean the most to me. Um, and I'm always blessed and grateful to work with everybody I work with. But Never Going Back, I did like 2016, 2017. It was an indie film directed by Augustine Frizzell. And it ended up going to Sundance and South by and was purchased at South by Southwest by A24. Love A24. Um, that was my first actual film booking though. And I worked with my sister, my best friend, Maya Mitchell, who ended up later down the line after we met through that. I ended up moving to LA and living with her. And she was kind of like setting me up for what I needed to do in my career. And I met her through there, and I owe so much to Maya. So yeah, Never Going Back means a lot to me. It also shot in my hometown, Grand Prairie, Texas, which is the most random place to shoot a movie. But my first film being where I was raised, it's so crazy. It's that one means the most to me, I would say.
What would you like to say then to everyone who are fans and supporters of the incredible work you do on our screen, Spencer?
Thank you so much for following along, and I feel like we're just getting started, to be honest. I'm really excited about this project. This one means a lot to me. Elliot is means the absolute world to me. And I think everyone is really going to enjoy the Z Suite for sure. Yeah, and keep following along because I have a film coming out next month, or what is it, February, March, at South by Southwest, called For Worse. So I'll be in South by promoting that next. So yeah, we're keeping it moving. But yeah, thank you so much for the support, and we're not done yet.